Good morning!
Good morning from Dubai.
Bye.
A very nice morning it is, and it's time for a big Q&A since there's like a million questions. So I say we just get started right away. We have Yanni, our wonderful interviewer for the day.
We're gonna start with some house questions. How's the renovation going in Marbella?
It's renovations, they always take time, but it's actually taking shape. Stuff is happening, and the floor that we ordered from Bauhaus finally arrived. 17 tons of stones. So hopefully we can show you guys on the ground very soon.
Are you still looking for a bigger place in Monaco? Yes and no.
Yes and no. We would love a bigger place, but the more we look, the more we realize that the location that we have is fantastic, and it's really expensive in Monaco. So finding a place is it's a big financial investment. So we're trying to balance that. So if we find a cheap one, that'd be really good. But as of now, we really like the place we have.
And also, there's not a lot of good bigger ones, to be honest.
No, it's hard to find.
Yes.
Very hard to find.
Since they're building everywhere in Monaco at the moment. Would you ever buy a house in the mountains?
When I was younger, I owned a house in Ora, which was nice. I loved it. I love the winter, but I like it when it's like a lot of winter. But then when we went to St. Moritz, I was like, this would be sweet. The only problem is St. Moritz is...
not cheap.
No, it's really, 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 really expensive. So I would love one, but it's not in the plans at the moment.
That was all the questions for the house.
So move on to the next subject.
Yes. When we're talking about living, we can do some Lombok questions. When are you going to start building on the lot in Lombok?
So, Lombok status. We have been so busy in the last little bit that we've been really bad at updating. But current status in Lombok is that we are planning on starting to build in August, because the first houses in the area is getting built in July, August. So when you have a big project like this, you have to build all the roads and all this. So I've been kind of just focusing on other things while they build the roads. But it is coming closer to getting started.
Okay. And what about the legal stuff for building in Tampah?
So when it comes to the legal stuff, I know a lot of people think it's kind of difficult to build and do things like this in Indonesia, Thailand, and so on. And me included, I think it's a little scary. But we have the right people in place that knows how to do it all. I'm gonna put all the info in the description so you guys can check it out. We actually have a big movie that they made from the area, so that way you can, if you're interested, you can just check that out.
But can you own it as a European or American?
You can own it, but you own it through an Indonesian company that you own 100%. So you don't have to go through a person from Indonesia that owns it. So it's much easier now than it used to be.
Okay.
But you have all the info in the video. That they're better at explaining it than I am.
Okay. Is it gonna be a modern house, or what's the plan?
I love architecture from Bali and the area, so I want to keep it kind of modern, jungly. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I want to look at what they do a lot there and do it similar to that, but with a twist.
Is it your house, or do you and Yanni have it together?
Currently, it's my project. I don't know, Yanni.
I mean, I just bought a big house in Marbella, and I'm gonna start with that.
I'm gonna try to get her more involved with it because it's more fun to have things together.
Yes. What's gonna be different with this house compared to other houses you've had?
This will be the first project that I start from ground up. Like all the other houses have been old houses that I've renovated. This, you start with a lot and you can do whatever you want. And I actually have a little video shot from the lot, so you guys can see the view from that place. Is that sick or what?
Yes. That's it about Lombok.
Yes, it is, but you have all the info in the description, so check that out because there's too much to talk about.
Yes.
Next one.
Next one. When are you guys going to ski again?
We are going to the Kronplatz Big Air on Friday. I'm going to be in the park on Friday if anyone wants to join me. So, yes. Skiing real soon again. It's been super fun lately.
Will you guys make tutorials on editing, filming, etc.?
Yes, we will. We just need that little bit of extra time, which I feel that we are finally starting to find now that we have a better vlog schedule. So we are going to do it because we have I need one as well so that I can check out what Benny is actually doing.
Me too. Benny, make one quick. Why do you only ever stay in one place for a few days at the most? Surely it all blurs into one when it's just quick visit. Wouldn't it be better to spend some quality time in each location?
Yeah,
I agree.
That's a good question. It's hard, like we want to do a million things, we have the opportunity to do a million things, and then we kind of want to see a lot of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have been trying to do it smarter that way, but we are not quite there yet.
Getting there.
Yeah, it's hard. There's so many cool places.
We're going for a trip soon for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, almost 2 weeks. We're going to Sri Lanka.
What about building new schools?
We want to build more schools. When we went to Colombia and built a school, it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But then it comes down to being able to have the right setup on the ground. Because if you don't have that, then whatever you build is just gonna be a short-term project. So we've said since we left Colombia that we are ready to build 2 more, 3 more, 4 more. Considering that I missed a few deadlines on uploading, we have some extra budget there as well.
Yes. Why don't you do throwbacks to the days in between vlogs anymore?
I kind of thought you guys didn't like that. I thought you thought it was too much and weird, and I don't know. Let me know. Do you guys like that? Do you think we should do it more? Let me know, because I'm all for it. I'm just trying to make whatever you guys like. That was it for this?
That was it.
All right, let's go to the next one.
And now some life questions.
Life questions, here we go.
How do you have a lot of energy every day?
Well, I have a lot of energy throughout half the day, but what you don't see is that we usually go to bed at 9. And we're pretty tired at night. So I think we have a lot of energy, but that's because we save a lot of energy during the night.
Sleep is very important.
Very important.
Do you like what you do right now?
I love what I do right now. I'm doing more things that I could ever dream about. The only thing I wish I could change is that I would be better at appreciating it, because I keep trying to think that I need to do more, I need to do better, I need to make everyone happy, and I am kind of bad at just appreciating what we get to experience.
How long are you going to vlog?
That's a good question. We don't really have a plan. I love it now. We're going to continue as long as it's fun. Who knows? We have no plans to stop any time soon.
Did you start drinking alcohol again, or only champagne at flights?
So I took two years and something off from drinking a single drink, but I thought it was a healthier mentality to choose not to drink or to drink. And lately I've had, a glass of wine on a flight. It's nice to just chill like that. I don't feel any urge whatsoever to go party and get drunk. But I think a glass of wine is nice to have.
With food or with drink or an afternoon drink?
No, a romantic dinner is nice with a glass of wine.
Exactly. What project are you spending the most time on these days, and what are your priorities?
So I would say that the vlog is taking up most of the time for sure, because when you vlog, you have to constantly throughout the day think about what you're doing and how to connect it all. And in second place is probably life organizing, trying to figure out, cars, insurance for cars, house, rebuilding house, and like all these life related aspects. Yep. And then on third place is probably douchebags. I work a lot with the brand direction as well as the product design when it comes to a lot of the things.
What do you consider as a success? Money, enjoyment in life, happiness, etc.
I would consider success when you wake up and you're happy. And I've realized that money does not make that happen, because even though we're doing really well financially now, I was probably smiling more when I was 18 because I wasn't worried. I was just skiing and life was like this, and I need to stop being a worried person. To answer the question, I think whatever makes you feel good inside when you're not trying to do something for someone else.
Do you enjoy being that famous, or is it rather a pity in everyday life?
When I was younger, I wanted to be the most famous person in the world, and I thought that would be super sweet. Now when we can't get naked in the apartment because there might be someone on the street with a camera photographing inside, I wish we weren't famous. Although every single one of you that I meet is super nice, and it's cool to see that you guys are watching what we do, because that is, I think, the biggest motivation to keep creating.
How hard is it for you to be satisfied with new things in life when you're living at such a high level?
I am terrible at being satisfied. I'm trying to work on that every single day, but I'm bad at it. I'm just born not to be satisfied, which is really sad. I mean, as with everything in life, you have to work on certain aspects, and for me, working on thinking that something is enough is probably the thing I work the most at.
That was it for life questions.
That was it.
Yeah.
I say we go look at something I think a lot of you are very interested in. Okay, let's talk about cars, since we're in a Tesla X. I love this thing, by the way.
Me too. It's so sick.
So Yanni, fire away.
What happened to the G-Wagon? When can you drive it again?
You know what? I have had a hard time getting a hold of Absolute Motors because they have been getting a new showroom. So I honestly don't have much updates on that. I want to drive it as soon as possible. And I think a lot of people thought I wasn't completing that since I got the RS6, but it's always good to have a car with a roof. So I'll let you know as soon as I have more updates. I'm hoping it's going to be done real soon.
Okay, second question. Are you going to use the RS6 for Monaco and the G for Marbella, or is the G gone?
No, yeah, so the G is still there. We haven't really figured out what to have where. I think it depends on our planning and how long we're going to stay at certain places.
Yeah,
I think both cars are great for both places.
And now I want to buy a Tesla.
No, this is pretty sweet. Feels like a spaceship.
Will you keep the RS6 for a while?
I'm always searching for something new and something different, but it's hard to find something better. Yeah, we'll see. You know I'm bad at keeping stuff for a long time.
Which of your RS6 do you prefer more, the 2013 or the 2018?
So the old one was like crazy in all sorts of different ways, and from some angles I loved the old one. It looked badass, but on some angles it just looked almost a bit too much. So I think I matured a little, and I think the app version is more refined. It's more drivable, more usable, and they're both great, but
yeah, they're very comfortable.
I love the wheels on the new one.
Yeah. Are you going to join the Gumball once again, or some other car tour in the summer?
We haven't really thought much about it because we travel around so much that it's hard to...
Yeah. I don't think people understand, like, Gumball, it makes you really tired.
Yeah, and since we drive around so much, yeah, no, I haven't thought about it too much, to be honest.
What kind of golf cart do you have? I can answer that.
Go ahead, Yanni.
Garia.
We have a Garia golf cart, and it is fantastic for smaller distances.
Almost as good as this Tesla.
I know, it's the only car that I have.
Paid promotion by Tesla. No, I'm kidding. What about the experience of driving the LMP3 car last year? Any news on the racing driver project?
I love driving on tracks. It's probably my favorite thing in the world next to powder heli skiing, but it also requires a lot of time, which is what I don't have enough of. So I would like to race, but I gotta figure out how to find the time for it.
Jon, how do you justify return on investment on these luxury custom supercars?
Okay, so buying a supercar is usually kind of a bad investment unless you buy the right one. For me, I also have an aspect of the fact that you guys seem to love cars. So cars, you know, when it comes to a vlog, it's important to have something that makes you stand out, be different. So for me, they're also something I use for the vlogs. So I try to...
job?
Yeah, for my job. That's my excuse for the cars. But nowadays, I think a lot more before I get something, and I always calculate what do I think I'll lose in the end. And if you build them well enough and unique enough, you can probably break even or even make money on a project. Or you can lose a lot, which I've done in a lot of times as well.
And that was about it for the car questions.
That was about it. So I'd say we just swing it around to whatever we come next.
Okay.
And Yanni taking over the next set of questions.
Yes.
Because the next set of questions is about marriage.
Ah, okay.
How are the wedding plans coming along?
Finally, we're starting to plan it.
We have a date, we have a place.
I think we just booked it, now we just need to get invitations out.
We can say that it's end of June. We are really far in advance.
3 months, not even.
But we won't say where it is.
No, secret location. But we finally have a place and date. But I don't think it's gonna be that different afterwards.
Except I can call you wife.
Exactly, and I can call you my husband.
Now, wife and husband, marriage proposal Q&A, over. The next question is, how is the merge going? I'm just never ever happy with anything, and it just has to be like the greatest thing I've ever made, and it hasn't come to that point yet. Story of my life.
You're working on it though.
I'm working on it, it's close, but no, the thing is, when I have people that expect me to do something, then that gets priority over things that I want to do, which is not smart. But It's coming. I really have a million ideas and I want to do it. So it's in the works, but it's slow. Sorry. And then we're gonna end with some tech questions.
PC or Mac?
So, as you know, we were playing around with the PC. I'm currently on the Mac.
And I am on the PC.
Yeah, we're going back and forth. Basically, the PC will give you a better results when it's brand new, but the Mac is just kind of
Equally bad.
equally bad. There's no perfect computer for editing on the go.
What happened to the Red camera?
So we still have the Red, however we have not used it in a long time. Knowing what the GH5 can do, and you can throw it around like... And with the Red, it takes 28 seconds to start up, and it's a big, heavy thing to travel with. We think that we can produce better vlogs with this. It's always a balance between quality and being able to get the shot.
What's your current camera setup?
Current camera setup, we have a GH5 that Yanni is holding on to with the new Leica 8-18 lens. Just bought it here in Dubai, actually. I went on the jet ski with this guy, and it didn't seem to like that.
No.
Then, so we shoot all the talking with one camera, and then we shoot B-roll slow motion with the other. And on this, I have a Voigtlander 35 equivalent. We have the big boy, the 100 to 400, with the micro four thirds 200 to 800. And then we use this lens a lot. It's a 42.5, so 85. Probably my favorite B-roll lens. And then we bought this guy in Japan. It's a 15, so it's a 30 millimeter. It's so complicated. Basically, micro four thirds, smaller sensor, but that means it can be stabilized more. And then we have the jet ski lens, which was a 7 to 14. And then we have a 12, 24, 1.4. The Fusion. I know some people hate it. I know some people, but they think it looks weird and like... weird. I agree, you shouldn't only use it, but I think it has its place. Yeah, like on the jet ski, me and Yanni were like...
Yeah.
And those are shots we couldn't get otherwise. So it's fun to play around with, but not to be used too much, I promise. But it's fun with new things. Hero 6. And then I didn't tell anyone, but I actually got a Leica. It's an M10, the new Leica M.
Here it is.
Which is a piece of art. Sometimes it's just fun to shoot like the old school like viewfinder or rangefinder, I think it's called. With the Leica Sumilux 35 from 1996 in Japan. We're playing around trying different years of the lenses. Either way, yeah, that's our current camera setup. And I'm gonna do a proper review on cameras because we have tried it all. We're constantly looking for new things. We're trying to figure out what the best setup is. So I wanted to do a vlog where I compare everything there is and talk about what's good and what's bad. But currently, I think this is the best choice for vlogging. That is it for the Q&A for this time. We'll be back on Tuesday when we're gonna have a full glorious Dubai vlog and show you everything that we've done when we've been here.
Yes.
So over and out from Dubai. Time to get some sleep because we have more things to do tomorrow.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.